There we
All
go.
right, we are live. Hello, everybody. We're on YouTube and Facebook. This is Alton Simpson and Stone Abdullah. Oh, that way, right? Uh, Never talked to Stone before. I wanted to talk to him. We seem to have similar interests, and I think the first time I saw you was when you posted that clip for the MSNBC interview that you did. Um, yeah,
It was Erlena Maxwell.
yeah, and I saw that. I was like, this guy, like, he just clicked through, like, we friended, and then I'm like, and then you popped up there. I'm like, I got to see what's going on. And after that, I'm a big follower. I'm a backer of your campaign, and
Ditto.
you just have a certain quality to what you're doing. That's very cool, and you're
Thank you.
appreciated. I did not know it was his birthday today, so everybody say happy birthday. If I knew that, I never would have asked you to do this because I know you have something better to do on your birthday.
I
But
mean,
happy,
well,
you
yeah,
know,
that's it. Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you, my friend. We hit the big 3-5. I was like, I'm like, okay, we're at the halfway mark to 40. All right,
Yeah,
nobody panic. Are we
yeah.
panicking now? No.
Now
This is
you're right on time. I didn't get married till I was 33 or 34. So that
really.
was, yeah, and I had my kids. I guess my first one when I was 40, and then
It's almost
another
like,
one 4 years later.
wow, that sounds like my dad when he got married. God rest both my mom and dad. So my dad, he was 48 when I was born,
Yeah,
and my mom was like 40. So I
yeah,
was like, okay. And but by the time like I was out and I had my two big sisters, and so I had there was 3 kids in the house, and
yeah.
they chose to homeschool us.
Oh, wow.
So but they had like this combined knowledge like
Right,
between them, right?
right.
And especially coming from that era, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't sugarcoat anything, so it was like there was a
Nope.
nice like melting pot of getting you ready for life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need
So
that.
yeah. Oh, I'm eternally grateful. I couldn't have asked for better parents.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But my man, it's strange that we haven't met up before. It's like it's because we like you said earlier, we share a lot of things in common. It's
It feels that
kind of
way to me.
haunting.
Yeah, yeah,
It's kind of did you said well, I saw, speaking of videos that I saw you post a clip of you playing guitar, and then I saw
yeah,
a bunch of pictures when you were playing guitar, and like when Wendy Steen Shaner, like when she was doing her last campaign, which was amazing, and then I saw all these old school pictures of you, just jamming out. I was like, this guy, and then you mentioned some other things. I was like, man, I'm like, why haven't I known this guy before? So I think
yeah,
that's really freaking cool. Oh,
yeah.
hey, Alton is a rock star. Wendy, hi, Wendy. Speaking of, we just spoke her up.
So, Wendy, how you doing? You say her name and she appears. I love you, Wendy.
Wow.
Wendy's the top of the top of comics world to me because she's my guru. She's trained me in Kickstarter, how to handle people, how to how to
Yeah,
spread positivity.
how to spread
And that's
positivity.
that's there's no price you can put on that. You know what I mean?
That's correct, my friend. That's
She's just
correct.
an amazing person. She came to the Baltimore Comic Con last year, and I drove down from Jersey. I had a table, but it was mostly to meet her, CB Zane, Jim Noble,
CB
all these
Zane.
people I've been December Lace, April, all these
Yeah,
people I've
April.
been working with. You work with a
Hmm.
lot of people online. You never have a chance to meet them. And Steph and Carrie Ann, Steph Wilson and Carrie Ann, they
Steph and
all
Carrie.
they all were in the same place at the same time. So I was like, well, even if I don't sell one comic book, which it was rough, still I still got to see them in person all together, you know.
Right.
So
And
it was worth it just for that, you know.
that in itself is priceless because
Yeah,
when you meet
she's
so many genuine people, you know what
yeah.
I mean, which is rare
Well, I've
in
been lucky.
itself.
We've discussed a few, and we won't name names who aren't genuine, but
Right.
the genuine people actually pointed out to me the ungenuine person we were talking about earlier. They
Same.
literally
Yeah.
said to me, my whole team, well, not all of them, but they said they were discussing amongst themselves, and they were like, "Look, this guy's dead weight. He's gonna, you're the guy. Like it was my
Mm-hmm.
first campaign, and they're like, you're the creator, so
Mm-hmm.
just be the creator, and don't let anybody take your thunder or pretend they're doing
That's
something
right.
you're not doing. They're like, we got you. You don't need them. let's do it. And that was the first one I funded. And that was right when COVID broke, March
Wow, right?
2020. Yeah, it was crazy because I was setting up for it, and then things were shutting down. And then right when everything shut down, I was like, is this even a good idea? Like I was completely freaked out. But I funded because Wendy knew what she was doing, and she trained me on what to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
The whole team was excited about it, so it was fun. It's still fun, but the first time is just like amazing. So I want to. She wants us to play guitar. Do you have a guitar around?
All the guitars are in the living room.
Okay.
And I would. Where's my amp? My amp, the small amp I've got, it's over at my old parents' house where my big sister and her husband is.
Yeah.
So the only way that I could play guitar live is if I play it through my digital audio workstation.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm set up.
That's the only way you're set up. So I was like,
because my amps, I have all these old amps and I'm plugging them in. I do have one amp. My son, both my sons play, but they don't play like religiously. But they have, my one son plays bass. He has a bass PV, little tiny PV. Bass. And, I can plug into that if I need to play out. But all my other amps are like ancient. And I was plugging in the other night because I'm like, I'm going to get ready. And my patch cords won't work. I'm like, oh my God, my rigs are all screwed up. Man. So I can I'm plugged in right now straight into my my interface, my Mac interface. And I can play through that. But that's
right.
Yeah. When you don't play, when you're not out there playing gigs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not hurting. It's not hurting anybody. It's fine. It works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when they say like, "Hey man, you want to play a set?" I have an appointment at the dentist at 10 o'clock that night.
Wendy wants to show, man. I built this as Battle of the Guitar Guys.
You did. I was just like, Battle of the Guitar Guys, and I was just like, dude, how are we going to pull that off? Yeah. Wendy.
Well, I would let you play, and then I would play, and then you would play, and I, back and forth.
Right. I tell you what, Wendy. We're gonna set it up. We'll have some background meetings.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to set up the equipment and make it like 80s glam rock or something. Maybe we'll do
since
some.
I've been watching Peacemaker, I'm hearing all the bands I used to listen to back in the day. Oh,
yeah.
Peacemaker's all hair metal. That's his stuff. So the whole soundtrack, and it's a James Gunn movie, and he's crazy with soundtracks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
James Gunn. He knows what he's doing. Here, I'll throw you a quick couple of chords, Wendy. If I can. Here.
Let's say you hear it. There you go. Let
me turn up just a little.
Okay, let me mute my mic so we don't have I'm just going to make sure all the audio bandwidth goes.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for feedback to hit me, but. Switch sounds. Yeah, gotta go back to that.
Sounds awesome.
There you go, Wendy.
There you go.
Right? A little bit. Yeah. The challenge has been laid down. It's time for Stone to raise the roof.
Now here's what I'm gonna do. Now the audio interface,
right?
Because like you said, you're worried about that feedback. So now I gotta put my earpieces up because the audio interface will only go through one through one source.
Right.
I was never able to figure out how to split it.
Right.
So let's see here. I'm gonna attempt to do it because Wendy was like, "Go get your stuff some." So this is what I'm doing.
She wants a show. She wants a rock show, baby. Anything for you, Wendy? Let me see if I can share this out a little bit.
Okay, can you still hear me through the mic? Can you still
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah, you
Okay,
sound
all
great.
right.
Very clear.
Okay, awesome sauce. Now, this here, I'm gonna have to, let's see here. I have a standing desk,
right,
which allows me to like adjust the doohickey bob and thingamajigs. So now I hope this thing doesn't crash just because I opened it. So I'm working with Windows, but I'll tell you this, Alton, I'm not going to get Windows 11. I've heard too many horror stories from people.
Yeah.
And like, no, it was tough enough for me to go from Windows 7 and jump all the way to Windows 10. And I said, this is the last hop until Microsoft works out all the bugs. So I'm running Reaper as my digital audio workstation.
Right.
And let's see here. Let me set this up for you guys.
Yeah, I only use Mac for music and film and stuff like that. I tried with Windows back in the day.
You did? Okay.
20 years ago, and things kept crashing. No matter what, it was crashing.
Isn't that the best thing when it just crashes? Isn't that
well, you work on editing something for like 3 hours.
You hear that?
Yeah, plenty of feedback, dude. I actually felt it on my fingers through my computer. That's intense.
Dear God. Okay. So that channel was open for the microphone. Okay. So that's what caused it. So now let me open the channels for the guitar. Sorry, Wendy, if you heard that was an accident. Let's see.
She likes feedback. She's a rocker from way back.
It's very true. Let's see. All right, I got that one open. So what I'm doing here, I'm using two, and I wonder if this thing's tuned. Good Lord, because I tuned it the other day, but as soon as you get some rain come by, ooh, let's see. Can you guys hear any of this noise?
Yeah, I heard a little bit.
All right, I'm going to turn up on the main mix so you guys can hear it through the microphone. Hold on. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what they call an extended range guitar. Let me see.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what is that? Is that it's not a bass, is it?
No. Oh no.
Yeah,
this is what they call extended range.
Yeah.
And this is a signature guitar from the technical death metal band Meshuggah, and the lead guitarist is Frederick Thorndahl. This is an Ibanez FTM 33. And Meshuggah is known for, staying in the lower registry. And so they play guitar in the bass register, but it's just like they have this huge, deep layer of just low registry noise. And I was just like, man, the first time I heard him, I was like, I have got to hear more.
Yeah.
And so I had to get the guitar. So I've had this Alton for 5 years now. 5 years. And so when you see, what's that?
I said that's a pretty amazing instrument.
Man, I wish you could play it because it feels amazing despite the extra 2 strings that you see on it.
Right.
Despite the extra 2 strings, you see you can get your hands around there and do some stuff.
Wow. That's amazing.
And you can hear that low.
Yeah.
That depth.
Real.
Let's see here now. Anytime I say I'm going to play something. Oh, is this thing out of tune? Hold up.
Yeah, that was my big concern.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, how do I tune with what he's playing? But if you play, and I'll play a little bit. We'll go back and forth.
That was a little bit of what they called Rational Gaze. That came out in 2002.
Very
Wrong
cool.
note, but it's the whole guitar tuned a half step down since it rained. So
Right.
now you got those little machines at the end.
Right.
Let me show you guys where you can like tune it. So that would take me all the show. So I'm not gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm not gonna do that to you guys.
It's a sensitive instrument.
Oh, thank you, my friend, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. You see, she says, I see a band forming in the near future, and thank you. It's fancy in the sense that let me put this up before I cause any more feedback.
Right.
Well, the pickups for it. Right. We talk a little nerd because we're nerds, okay, right. Folks watching at home, we're nerds. The pickups for this are by Johan Lundgren for the Swedish guitar pickup company Lundgren Pickups.
Right.
And I contacted Johan Lundgren in Sweden, and I said, Johan, man, I love the sound that you're doing with these pickups. I said, how in the world can I be like an artist to represent you? He's just like, man, he said, you're the guy that's out there like putting out all the Meshuggah videos. Like you see me post videos and I'm playing that heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, be more than happy to put you on the register of sponsored artists. So sponsor, I'm the same. How do you say? I'm on the list with Ghost, the band Ghost, Ghost BC, and Meshuggah and some other guys. And so I gotten to know Johan Lundgren like over the past 5 or 6 years. And the Swedish people are just so freaking nice. They're just
Europe is very different.
Especially
when it comes to the art.
Right. They embrace
everybody there. And I know in my wife's family, everybody had to take an instrument as part of the curriculum. So everybody has some experience with that. They took ballroom dancing as part of the curriculum.
Wow.
She's from Czech. And I've been to a lot of like family events where like my nephews, their first ballroom dancing thing, dress up and all that. So
right.
Yeah. The arts are very, taken very,
they're taken seriously.
And it's seen as a positive contribution to society, and they respect that,
That's a completely different ideological dynamic from over here. If they take care of it and they see how important it is, then you know what I mean. They're going to reinforce it to the next generation.
Yeah, rather than cut funding like we do here, they don't mind spending it because they know it enriches humanity to have us, playing and doing and stuff like that.
They know the benefit, but to Europe's history, Europe's been around a lot longer.
Well, yeah, they always say that to me when I'm there. We're like a baby country, and we act like it. So
it's I'm just saying. Hey, folks at home, we're not getting political. We're just calling things as they are. That's it.
It's just the differences between the U.S. and Europe. It's not anything specific.
No,
I don't have a political axe to grind. I'm teaching a class right now.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
The one thing my parents were always like, well, don't talk religion, don't talk politics, and don't talk that. And I know how polarized everything is.
Yeah, buddy.
But I'm just like, look, the only thing I don't care who's in charge of the government or whatever. They work for us. That's all I want. I want them to do good, positive things for us.
Correct.
And as long as they do that, I will be happy.
Yeah.
The problem is that doesn't happen that often. that's where, if I get upset, that's where it comes from. It's not so much ideology. It's more like everything's set up that we pay the tax and you guys do the job and you take care of the country.
We're paying your salaries.
Yeah. So that's what I, if a plumber came to my house and he, fixed my toilet, I'm going over here. I mean, then I'd be, dude, your job is to do that. So
your job is to fix the toilet. I paid you to fix the toilet. What you doing,
right,
bro?
right.
He's
So
just
that's
like, nah, not today.
yeah.
I'm
So
like,
that's my only thing. Hey, Luis Torres is up. Hey, Luis, how you
Luis
doing, man?
Torres. We got
Good
Luis.
to see you.
Wendy, she says, are you in the bushes hiding? Lewis, he's a stalker. He's a very friendly neighborhood stalker. I've picked up some of his characteristics.
Another awesome creator. So tell me, look, you got a Kickstarter. I want you to tell me, tell me about the book. Tell me about how it came to be, and just because I backed it, but I haven't done a lot of research on it because once I started running my own, it was like, that. So tell me all about it.
Okay, man. Yeah, and thank you so much for backing it, my friend. I appreciate that a lot.
It's a pleasure.
The Darkness Falls, my friend, it's the second installation in the sci-fi metaphysical novel series, Journey of the Shadow. Nice. So you see Journey of the Shadow circulating the rod. That's the name of the title, but then the installation now is Darkness Falls. The long and short of it, I suppose the elevator pitch is that we're still on the heels of 19-year-old Commander Smisu, who's the leader of the supernaturally inclined Sonzai warrior clan. This is modern day Earth. Right. And their job is to protect humanity from forces unseen. And there's a particular force trying to come back on Earth. It's an ancient evil he calls himself Ni-Yugo. But now in Darkness Falls, there's a new evil that catches them off guard. He's the disciple of torment, Yoro. And now bodies are piling up faster, and they're having a hard time to contain this problem. And that puts the knives of doubt in Commander Smisu. He's 19. Right. He's got all these phenomenal powers, but I don't expect him to be a sage. You know what I'm saying? That's unrealistic. Yeah. So, but in juxtaposed to that, he meets in volume 1, the first book, he meets all these phenomenal individuals, and a lot of them happen to be women. Princess Suzuka. Let me put this down so you guys can see. Yeah. Princess Suzuka back here. Yeah. She's the Imperial Commander of Devonia. So it's Princess Suzuka Devonia. So she is the brass. Cool. Over here, this is First Lieutenant Arlette Salvatere. She's third in command of the 31st Devonia military installation. Behind me, if you guys can see, but there's mercenary Tetiana Ordovicia. She was specifically built by Dr. Natalia Artemis as a counter to the Devonian annexation. And he runs into these ethereal beings. You know what I mean? He ran into one of them you see up here. This is Goddess Evelyn.
Yeah, I've seen her a lot on your posts.
But yeah. Oh man, people love Evelyn, but for good reason.
Of course.
But if he doesn't, this is the part of the elevator pitch. If he doesn't draw strength from all these really experienced women with their different perceptions and their different vestiges of wisdom, my friend, darkness will fall upon the universe without mercy, because we're looking at the threat of galactic genocide. So that's Darkness Falls in a nutshell. But thank you, man.
Now, how do you see this? Well, two questions. One, who does the artwork there?
Oh, okay. This artwork's from Shikari.
Okay.
That's that's our boy. He had a birthday yesterday. So
I'll have to talk. I've been talking to him back and forth about working on one of my projects.
He's a kindred spirit. I love working with him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's you've already seen all the stuff that he does, like with Black Rabbit.
Well, he worked with Kara.
Oh heck yeah! My gosh, I'm just like, dude,
when I saw the picture, I was like, is that Kara or is that a picture?
Or who is this?
Yeah, because it looked just like Kara,
It did. Like
I was lucky enough to meet her at C2E2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I got introduced to her, through the group doing my Kickstarter, and we talked online, and that was kind of like, she's like, I'm going to do your, create your character and all this. And I'm like, that's so bizarre that somebody would be willing to be my character. So she would ask me questions and things. So then C2E2 was coming, and I actually had a friend who works for a publisher. This was a month before COVID hit.
Okay.
So it was February 2020.
Wow.
And he was like, dude, your book's great. I want you to talk to the people. And the only time they take a pitch is in person. So I said, I want 2020 to be a great year. I'm just going to fly out to C2E2. For the first time, I went to a big con, not as with a table, but as a spectator.
Right.
And I pitched them. But Kara was there, Chris Mad was there, and a bunch of other, other people who were on my working on my Kickstarter.
Right, right.
So yeah, she was just like Lady Death, and it was just incredibly amazing. Incredibly, I'll send you the pictures. You'll be like, that's amazing. And she literally had her eyes like whited out and everything.
Whited out, and
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I met her and Lisa Malone, who I work with too.
She's
working on Kickstarter now. But I come up to her, and of course, all these people are around her because they're just fascinated with her.
Right.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a guy. We're kind of working together. She's like, could you lean over? She goes, these contacts, I can't see too far in front of me. So I lean over and I'm like, yeah, I'm Al Simpson. And she goes, oh my God, I'm working with you. And she hugs me. I was like, she is so cool.
So
everybody was like freaking out. They're like, who's this dude? She's hugging him.
Who's this guy?
Yeah. we literally started talking business, like business tactics, marketing, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's a genius too with what she does.
My gosh.
You know,
she knows which that
was before. Yeah, it was before I got introduced to her husband, Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred.
So the two of them are light years ahead of what most people are thinking. If we were playing chess, they're like 10 steps ahead already.
Oh yeah, easily.
But yeah, meeting her was like I just described it as a force of nature. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you see people, and I've been out to Hollywood. And I was telling the story to December Lace about Pam and Tommy Lee. I saw them at a Starbucks one time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see people like that, you think, they're Hollywood. They really are different. There's something like unusual about them compared to ordinary human beings. So I will give them that. And when I met Kara, she had that thing. I was always like, Kara, when I shoot vampires, when I finally get around to shooting some type of film, I want you to play that character because she's brilliant. I'm surprised she's not more into films now. I know she's done some, but she's got that presence.
Yeah, that's the word. She's got that presence,
and she's so nice too. Just like Wendy.
She's a genuine I'd love the living daylights out of her.
The majority of people I've met that I've been. Well, I would say everybody just about I met that I work with. I've been lucky enough, and they're just very kind, giving people.
Yeah.
If you have a question, they'll answer your question. I mean, it's just
it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, it's one less thing you have to think about. But then, we've been working together. Like she worked on Bunny, and I've been working with Wendy. So it's been like 2 years now, coming up this spring, and you get that, thought,
the intuition,
mind meld.
Yeah.
Thing, where you all kind of feel that. Oh yeah, this is how we do things. You don't even have to talk about a lot of things.
It's unspoken because you know each other.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Speaking of the devil, see every time I say somebody's name, what's up, Steph?
Steph Wilson. Buddy? Lord have mercy. We got Steph Wilson in there.
Yeah, we got the Stephster. So now the
bigger is bigger. Okay. I just want to say that right out front. Wait, Steph's like Journey of the Shikari. I'm not ignoring you, Steph. I've just looked. Hello, Trish Bingston. Hello, Trish.
Hey, Trish.
Three Heads Production. What's up?
Yeah. Well, that's me.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I broadcast through, I had a bunch of Facebook pages, but that was the other thing I posted this morning. I had like 30,000 people on one page, and when I post, nobody sees it. So it's kind of like, and I got interviewed by Facebook Live for a research study they were doing with small business last year. And I told them, on Facebook, to Facebook, I said, you guys are killing small business.
Absolutely.
I said, if I paid you money to get the 20 or 30,000 people on my page, and then you cut me off from that page, and then you tell me I have to pay when I post to talk to the same people I already paid for, you're killing me.
You're killing it. Yeah. That's not a business model. That's a Ponzi scheme. That's a Ponzi scheme. So.
But I digress.
Yeah.
So tell me now your musical background. Yeah. Tell me about that. How did you start playing? What types of music do you like? That type of thing.
Man, you know what? I'm going to say right up in front that the music background is how do you say, it's a cotangent of my scientific aspirations and my literary aspirations.
We got to talk PhDs too. I got to get to that.
Yeah. We'll get to that. we'll get to that.
So much I forgot. I'm not like Letterman where I write down everything or have somebody do that.
No. We just we're just talking, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, Steph, all of those JOTS posts are breaking Facebook. You're welcome, Steph.
It needs to be broken. Zuck needs to, like, swift kick in the butt.
That's what I'm talking about. They need me to break them. Music stuff, man. Growing up, my mom, she used to play piano.
Yep.
And my dad, he was always interested in like saxophone and stuff because like when he used to work out in Vegas
Wow.
long time ago, so he
Yeah.
was you met the Rat Pack and all that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
So
Yeah, the
I
early
know
days.
to like early days,
Yeah.
right? And so it started because we're in Mississippi and it's the home of the blues. It's the home of whoever else, you know what I'm saying? From
Uh-huh.
Elvis to what's it, Lightning Hopkins to John
Yeah.
Lee Hooker, BB
Oh, wow.
King, everybody, so it's inherent, especially the blues. So we start off with that,
Yep.
but then you got a lot of we had Motown and stuff. We had a lot of Parliament Funkadelic, etc.
Yeah.
Like it's the great 70s funk, you know what I mean? So we still have those albums. Matter of fact, the original vinyl albums at my mom and dad's house. God rest both their souls. So grew up with that. And so around 96, mom got my dad acoustic guitar, still have it on an old 6-string Hunter. And dad started playing it and I started getting interested in it because my fingers were tiny and whatever. And I said, but let's just give it a shot. So I don't know how to read one lick of music. Okay. I don't know how to do that. I tried.
Yeah.
I did, not for lack of trying. But then my ears were picking up stuff faster than I could read. So I was just like, you know what? Let's
better.
Listen to, and
I did both. I had jazz band in high school. I took it just to get my hands on an instrument because you could get it as an elective. And I was literally sneaking into the jazz room to play instruments when nobody was there because every instrument you could think of was in there. And I just wanted to experiment. And finally, excuse me, the jazz band teacher was like, why don't you just take the class? Because I'm tired of throwing you out of here. So I learned to read, but my ear made it quicker. And back in the 80s, when I was in a band, even if you bought the sheet music is written differently than how you hear it on popular music or on the radio. It's always a little bit off.
That's correct.
I was the guy who figured out Don't Stop Believing, every note, and then taught the band. I was that guy. So,
you were that guy. So
you need one in every band.
What's that?
You need one guy who can transcribe what people are hearing to pull it all together.
You need at least one guy.
Yeah.
And when I finally got there on the scene, I was that guy because I was principally, I trained myself by ear. Mm-hmm. So when we were trying to do a cover or something, and then I'd say like, hey, there this key to this thing and that and such, and then we all got it. But then it really didn't take off until like maybe I was like a teenager. But the thing about it was when I 15 or 16 years old, at least when I started getting on the set, I had like a mustache and the beard thing going, so I looked older than what I was. And even though my dad was already there, he was kind of like the the manager or whatever. I could get into places that were you had to show your ID, but not for me. I could go into these venues because I was there to play the music. But the detriment was that these girls, they wanted to buy you like beers and stuff. I'm just like, ladies, no, this
rock star lifestyle.
I'm like, this is not what you not today. This is going to get you in jail. So it was an interesting part. But I suppose when I first got into like rock and roll or whatever, it was like in 96, 97. I heard like some Matchbox 20 and heard some other bands. And I started listening to some other stuff. I'm like, it's pretty cool. And it really started getting heavier in like 1998 and 99 when I ran upon new metal, like Korn, Biscuit, and I ran into 9 Inch Nails and all this stuff. I'm just like, man, this whole world of music that's just speaking to me. You know what I mean? But there's a correlation between
Trent
those.
and I were in high school at the same time in Pennsylvania, and I always think, what would have been like if we ended up? He was in marching band, believe it or not.
He was in wow.
Yeah, and I was in jazz band because we're about the same age, and I was like, that would have been like so bizarre to have Trent like in my jazz band class or me in marching band with him. That'd have been insane. But
that would have that would have been pretty sick, man.
Yeah, it's one of my mainstays because he started out playing all his own instruments.
That's right.
Like Prince. He saw Prince do it, and that's where he got the idea to do it himself. And I, for the most part, of the 150 songs I've recorded, I played almost everything. So
you taught yourself the instruments, and then you know how to lay down the tracks, and so that's the same thing happened when me and one of my sisters, like she can sing like a bird. She's an RN now, like a 15-year veteran or whatever. But we released our first EP in like 2004, I think.
Nice.
and laid down the instrument, like 5-instrument track or whatever.
Yep.
And now, just fast forward, like after this Kickstarter stuff is over and whatever, I've re-recorded 2 or 3 out of the 7 EP songs that we're doing, so I'm planning on a re-release. So,
nice.
Hey, you guys look out! You guys look out for more for some more music stuff from yours truly. But man, the we got on the set, I started out like with blues bands, you know what I mean? Because I was playing keyboard or organ or whatever. Nice. And got an opportunity to play 2 BB King homecoming festivals, one in 2005, one in 2006. Steph, this one time in band camp, Stone brought your car. I gotta say this one, folks at home. Steph Wilson, Stone knows that pictures go inside the book, right? No. Just like we don't need backgrounds, we don't need pictures to go inside the book, Steph.
Oh yeah, Stone. Mike wants to see your pictures back there again.
Mike. Okay, yeah. Wait, hold up. Hello, Mike.
Wazalowski.
My friend.
Yeah, it's my buddy. I'll be right back. I have to get something for my.
Okay, my friend. Now, here are the pictures, Tom. It's all this Shikari stuff. I mean, there's other stuff from artist ISAP. That's our comrade from Russia, and there's art from Kat Chan, and she's a non-sequential illustrator from Iran. But everybody just, you gravitated toward this stuff. And I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm not tooting my own horn, but
this is where you toot your own horn.
Toot
away.
But I'll say this, that the artwork produced from Shikari with respect to my characters was a lot different from a lot of the other characters I see that Shikari does.
Yeah.
And I say that, and just to digress a little bit from the music, but in terms of the story development and the characters and the concept design, that they had been with me in my head for so long. Right. Like I started Journey of the Shadow like August 2002, and I still have like the original outline. I saved it because I wrote it out on paper. I'm still in the middle of school, right? Mm-hmm. And then I didn't release volume 1 until 2017, my second year of graduate school.
Okay.
And at that time I was working a research and development division for the DoD. It was wild. And they were like, "You released a sci-fi book?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I wish. I want to do research. I haven't gotten the real research. I mean, I did my own research for my doctorate.
Yeah.
But I would love to be, somebody who does research all the time. To me, that's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. We're going to tell you guys how much fun it is, okay, in just a second. But Mike, I hope you saw enough of the artwork. I'm sorry, with the microphone. Louis Torres, rookie mistake. Yeah, but is there a Stephen Crane or Steph Wilson? All right. You guys just hold on to your butts. Wait for book 3, Vengeance Theorem. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, just because there's a lot more Journey of the Shadow than Darkness Fall.
Good.
But yeah, man, after we got on set and did some blue stuff, I got into like the heavier stuff, like the metal. And we had our own band, did some festivals, and we had a little, regional tour. But the guys on the set were telling me, "Dude, you need to get in college." I was like, "What do you mean?" They said, "You're talking to us like this Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff. You're always talking about physics and astro this and climatology that." I was just like, "Man," I said, "I'm out here on the set." I said, "Because music is a universal communicator." Right. You know what I mean? I said, somewhere along there, you can find an inflection point where you can communicate some of this knowledge, through our music. Mm-hmm. And he said, the one guy, what was his name? Corey. He was like, "Dude, no one says inflection point. Okay. No one says that.
No one in his circle says that.
No. So then my sister was like, "All right, you need to go to college." And so in 2010, that's when I started doing the stuff and I think I got my bachelor's in 2014. And I think that now we can dive into like some of the science stuff.
Mm-hmm. I got my MBA and I started in 2008.
2008.
So I got out of graduate school, I guess 210 or 211. And then I was just like, I feel like I just keep going and just finish it,
finish it. Your post-secondary education.
It was tough.
God. We're saying, you've completed your PhD, right? And then I'll tell you this, my PhD, contrary to popular belief, got hung up in university. I'll say that in the most polite way.
Yeah, me too. Until horror stories off the air.
Yeah. The horror stories. Yeah, this is all positive. Okay.
The only good thing I can say is my chair read my comic in between destroying my other work. And he said, you know, I finally believe you're actually going to get your PhD. He goes, but this Vampires of New Jersey thing, I got a feeling about this. This is really something. He's on my Instagram now, telling me how much he likes the book. So
now your chair likes your Vampires of New
finally,
Jersey.
Yeah.
Finally like something that you wrote.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
Well, it's an adversarial position when you're the chair. You're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to make the person prove that not only did they want it, that they can do it. Right. And I know I have a couple of PhDs in my family on my mom's side. And the one said to me, it's not even about how smart you are. It's about endurance. She goes, that's at the end of the day, when you get to the end of that, it's just going to be about, can you hang in there? Can you tough it out? Can you take all the crap they're going to give you? So
she's absolutely right.
So we did it.
So yeah, congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job.
That's what I was thinking, because I went straight from bachelor's to PhD.
Yeah.
And I was, I did a lot of,
that's intense.
And people were asking me, are you sure, Stone? I'm like, yeah, fine, it's fine. Yeah. Because on the side, like I've been working with computers for a long time.
Right.
And I've been interested in like the hard physical sciences for a while. So my parents, like I mentioned earlier in the show, that they homeschooled us. But, neither of my parents, they had both of their like high school diplomas or whatever. But they saw that I had this vested interest in learning about the hard science or the physical sciences.
Right.
So they made the sacrifices to get me all these very nice textbooks about climatology, meteorology, geology, volcanology, whatever. Yeah. So I was reading, undergrad level, grad level textbooks. And so by the time I stepped in the door, everybody thought that, okay, so you're a first year graduate. I'm like, no, I'm just going through the motions. This is my first year in undergrad. And so the professors took notice. And so I was able to make some cash as a, student adjunct professor or teacher.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I just started doing an adjunct position.
Yeah. And it's a different, how do you say, it's different from when you're doing like active research, whatever, because you're investigating, right? Yeah. To learn or obtain knowledge. Yeah. But that's one thing I really miss, Al. That's one thing I really miss is teaching, because I taught I was a tutor. I did some K through 12 substitute teaching. Yeah. Taught an undergrad, graduate. It's a lot of fun, but I got it from my parents again, because our mother was our principal teacher. So I saw the impact of giving or seeing that, what I'm talking about, that light bulb that goes off in people's heads. Yeah. And you roll out of the bed and you're just like, let's make some light bulbs go off. And it just, it just made me smile every time I walked into the classroom. But don't worry, guys, about the horror story. Don't worry about that. All the dissertation stuff on the computer, all the credits still in the college. It's just the point of the fact is, it's just got to get another grant. There's a statute of limitations or whatever, according to the federal government, that you got to be in graduate school or whatever. So I got to wait. And maybe some of the faculty will change because there's a little bit too much corruption. But that aside, I got time. That's something else you mentioned. So the PhD is not going anywhere. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and just do this journey of the shadow thing. Let's combine what we learned so far from our influences from music, our influences from science, influences from life itself. I said, let's put it all together and see, just trying to make this happen. Here we are, your small business owner. Yeah. And you know exactly how that goes. You take your idea and you're like, well, let's give it a shot. Yeah. Right.
Now, do you see this as a movie, as a series of movies, as an ongoing streaming series? How would you see it?
That is a great question. I would see it as movies.
Yeah.
I would see it as movies because it's the novels are dense and that's according to my sister. She's the principal beta reader, or because growing up,
you need somebody.
We did like verbal skits, you know what I mean? And I don't know how it happened, but my sister, the youngest of my 6 big sisters, she turned out to be an illustrator. Don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where she got it from, but she drew stuff. Yeah. I drew in the little, text bubbles because I was the writer.
Yeah.
And then we did that as kids. And then So I'll tell you this funny story. In 2016, when I was sitting there during a summer break, you know what I mean? I had a little time in my hands, and I'm writing volume 1. And she had her 1-year-old son in her arms, okay? And then she's 5'0", but she kicked me in the back of the leg. She kicked me. I was just like, what are you doing? She said, I'm sick of you sitting there with this, writing this, you need to publish it. I said, oh,
it's true.
So I did. I did. What was I going to say? You're wrong. I was probably going to get kicked again. You know, I didn't. So the density of the novels, right? It was just a function of aspirations. You know, that I look at the wonderment of space. You look at the wonderment of the earth. There's so much about the earth that we just don't pay attention to, or we take for granted. And I said, man, we can definitely extrapolate a lot of this stuff into a science fiction, like metaphysical, weird, woo, dreamlike haze thing. So it was dense, but at first, Al, I'll be honest with you, it read like a scientific paper. And my sister got in my butt about it. She was like, she threw something down. And she was like, this is a story. You're telling a story. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me go back and check it. My voice goes higher when I'm like, you know, because it's big, sister, 5'0" or not, you know. But it was a learning curve for yours truly. So, but there's so much story in Journey of the Shadow, and that's why I took to long form writing as opposed to like a novella or a graphic novel approach, because there's so much behind all of these characters.
Right.
And I said, well, if it was going to go on to a different type of medium down the road, then it had to be in movie format, where they have an opportunity to condense the novel somewhat, like Lord of the Rings. You know, they couldn't possibly tell everything that J.R.R. Tolkien said.
No.
But they did a decent job. They did a decent job of telling the big parts of the story. So I said, well, comparable to that, I said, well, I see as a movie. I don't know when, guys, we got to get through getting all the books out. Okay. There's 2 more books.
Okay. I was going to ask how many in the series.
Yeah, it should be, hopefully there's 4.
Okay.
In 2015, I wrote both book 3 and book 4. I drafted them both. Wow. And they're both above 150,000 words. So but here's the thing. Now that I released Darkness Falls, and it's 175,000 words, I got to do a little bit of a rewrite for book 3 and book 4. But I already have the canvas there, so that's the good news. So hopefully by next year, my friend, you guys should look out for book 3, Vengeance Theorem. That's the title that I'm looking for. It's going to be lit. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so lit. But then after book 4, man, I'll tell you this. Since 2018, I've been thinking about writing another 4-book series. I was like, man, I gotta finish this one thing at a time, right? You gotta finish one thing at a time. But I'm excited about where Journey of the Shadow could go. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Just the imagery and the concepts that you come up with for the book are exciting. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.
I dreamed to one day write a book. I mean, writing a book is very intense. Writing a comic book, you know, I'm worried about structure and dialogue mostly.
Right. And that's
yeah, go ahead.
No, I said no, you're correct. Structure, dialogue, tone, the mood. How in the world do you convey like happy, sad, angry, you know, irate with words? And you're trying to make sure that those parallel, you know, with the imagery. That's tough to do. But then, like you said, in just story writing in general, just all words, like Steph Wilson said, without the pictures. It's intense. I'm sitting there and you don't realize how much work it takes until you sit back and be like, why am I so sweaty? You know, because my brain was working, because you're trying to tell a picture within 1,000 words. That's long form writing. And real quick, I'll say that I didn't go to school. Like all the stuff, all my academic training and stuff was physical sciences. But me learning how to write, I taught myself, just like the music, right? And I learned from pausing stuff because, you know, in the digital age, you had satellite. You can pause your favorite show. You can put on closed captions. You can mute it. And so you could see the pictures, but you watch the closed captions. And then you're learning how to transcribe that emotion that's happening in the animation or the movie or whatever. And then you try to learn how to depict that within word form. So I learned unorthodox, you know what I mean? Like from watching Twilight, Rod Serling,
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock, some of my favorites, right?
Yeah.
But man, I'll tell you, it left a lasting impact on what you're looking for in terms of how you're trying to describe the world, how you're trying to describe the characters, and oh man, arc blending, blah blah blah. We can go on all day. We don't have enough time for that, ladies and gentlemen. But it's hard work, but it's rewarding when you step back and you're just like, wow, that chapter is 69 pages. Nice. I have a chapter in Darkness Falls. Chapter 14 is 69 pages long, but it doesn't read like 69 pages because you're just that formula of wanting to know what happens next, being involving the reader, pulling them into the world. That's the art. That's where the art takes place. And it didn't happen overnight, my friend. It took a lot of writing and all this other type of stuff. But I'm extremely grateful that I took the opportunity to say, you know what, Stone, after all this hard stuff we've done, working for the government, being in academia, butting heads with a lot of, people that say unsavory things about you. Why not? Yeah. Why not just go ahead and just do Journey of the Shadow? Why not? Because my mom told me before she left this, or she said, son, don't quit. And all I said was, yes, ma'am. Yeah. So this is a function of me listening to the old lady. Appreciate you, Mom. Yeah. Did we catch up with chat? I don't want Steph to feel like he's being ignored.
Well, Wendy said, so you're saying in missing book one.
Missing book one. Well, we got you're missing some of the story. I would say maybe 42%, because like motivations and stuff for the characters, yada yada, are expounded upon versus volume one. So if you don't read volume one first, then when you get into the meat and potatoes of Darkness Falls, you're like, well, why this and why that? It's explicitly stated in volume one, superficially, I would say. But and that's why in the Kickstarter, I've got one tier where you can get both books signed at no additional cost. You can get both books and dive right into the story. Yeah. So I always tell people, volume one is the intro book. Al, it's the shortest book of the series. Yeah. It's like a Cliff Notes of Journey. You know what I mean? But I loved it because that's like your baby, right? And you put it out there, and you didn't expect that people would give you positive response, but they did. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you put it out there, and you're just like, all right, well, let's see how this goes. And then your chair is like, man, I love what you do. Yeah. it knocks you. It's humbling, right? And so I really love doing this because it allows me to meet people like yourself, meet all these
right back at you,
beautiful individuals that I wouldn't have otherwise met. You know what I'm saying? To share this extension of the human experience, right? As my father, God rest his soul, as he said, son, regardless of where you go on the earth or what you do on the earth, give people life. I was just like, wow. Yeah. So now I'm in an environment where I can share that same idiom, right, with people who are just like we said about Europe. We take it serious. Yeah, this enrichment to give people life, and man, it's everybody's been proving me wrong. I was like, nobody's gonna like this, Yogi. I don't know. You gotta think about you. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of Hanna-Barbera growing up, but it was great.
Yeah, I mean, even before I met you, I was hearing positive things. About your work and about you. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate I would say the support, because one of the things I try to do, Al, and whatever I undertake, scientific or otherwise, is be sincere. Yeah. Just be sincere with what you're doing. Be sincere with people.
Yeah, be yourself.
And then the rest will follow. Because
it should, yeah.
It should follow. You'll see, like we said earlier in the program. But outside of that, courtesy, humility, and respect, that opens up a lot more doors than any skill set that you'll have. That's something I learned early. Yeah. And I'm grateful that so many people have shown me that degree of respect that I didn't anticipate. Because I was just like, oh, I've got to have like a whole library of books before people pay attention to me. And I was wrong. Yeah, I was dead wrong. So my gratitude just went way up. I was like, well, appreciate you guys. Thank you, Wendy. I looked down at the comments, Al. Thanks for the info. Cool. Fun show. Got to go for a bit. Hugs. All the hugs. I hope you enjoyed the guitar.
Thanks, Wendy.
Hope you enjoyed the
guitar. Play more for you later.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Much more. We're gonna get it, planned with all the audio, and tune it. Go play some classics.
Yeah.
Dude, there was something else I was going to bring up besides. Goth Girls. Okay, yeah, you mentioned Goth Girls and the prelude up to the show.
Yeah, we got a thumbs up from Courtney, so I knew
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew we were going the right direction. I know she's not watching. She'll watch the playback. But,
she'll watch play. Okay, but my introduction to Goth Girls, a short story, way back in the day when we used to have music stores, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What happened to FYE? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was like 98. And walking through, you see all the CDs. Kids watching the replay, we had these things called CDs. And they were circuit. They were a circle, and they had data written on them that you would put into a CD player. You had to hit a button in order for it to operate. But we were walking through, and she was looking for like my mom and dad. They were looking for like Maze, Frankie Beverly and Maze on like a CD album. And then I was browsing through like the rock section, and I saw Godsmack, their first album. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And the artwork struck me. I was like, "What is this? Who is this?" So I picked up the record. Okay, I picked up the record and I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "She said, well, baby, why she got all that on her face?" I'll never forget it. Yeah, because mom's from the South.
Yeah, so and my parents are from North Carolina.
They're from North Carolina.
Yeah,
they they're not afraid to say exactly what they're doing. And but it was humorous because I was just like, I said, "Mom, what is this?" She said, "Well, baby," she said, "well, maybe you should just go ahead and put that." Oh, Mike, hey, nice. It's good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
But she was like, just go ahead and put that one back. I was like, okay. I said, my mother's telling me this for a reason. But then as I got older, I was like, I kept thinking about it. Then I kept running into them. And then the advent of social media, I was like, Goth Girls, they're legit.
Yeah.
And so going back to Vampires in New York, number 8, bro, the roster you've got is absolute fire. I just got it.
Yeah, the models are after I worked with Kara, then I said, well, maybe, I can work with other models. And a lot of the girls or the women that I found for this campaign, they're not cosplay per se.
Right.
Kara in December, they're cosplay, but everybody else, that's their lifestyle. That's what they wear.
That's them.
It's very authentic and very cool. And 2 of them are in Jersey, Countess, Camilla Noir, and Hauntingly Familiar. I know them. Like whenever I do the New Jersey Horror Con or I do local cons, I bump into them. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of a labor of love. The other ones are on Instagram. Anybody can follow them, but I would look at what they were doing and just be like, that's really a beautiful picture.
Right.
I know Cora Fit Metal, she's in France. And she did a bunch of pictures in front. They have castles all over the place there.
Right. Oh yeah.
She did a bunch of pictures with a sword in front of a castle. I just thought they were super cool.
That's
so
amazing. Like we don't have castles. You don't just run into a castle in the United States.
No, they have castles like we have malls. I always tell people.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy. We've got malls or strip malls. They're ubiquitous.
Yep.
But I just think it's really unique. You know what I'm saying? To actually reach out and work with actual individuals that they just do this because that's a part of who they are. That's part of their individuality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that authenticity it stands out. It's as clear as day, and it's beautiful. Like you said, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a part of. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've been lucky because with the technology the way it is today, I send them some files of the book and they check it out. And then, I can pay them through PayPal anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So, it's very easy transactional on that end. But on the creative end, they're excited to be on the cover. I'll get them some copies. I'm excited to have them on the cover. So it all works perfectly.
It worked. It's perfect. I think that was genius.
And it introduces them to a new crowd of people. That's kind of what I want to do.
Right.
I always want to open the door a little wider. You guys don't know this person, but check this out.
Right.
So
just expanding the audience and showing them something that they haven't, like you said, they've been introduced to, and they probably would not have known otherwise.
Yeah.
But that's part of expanding the human. I always say it, and I'm going to say it again. That's expanding the human experience, right? And introducing them to stuff that'd be like, wow, that's really cool. So like when I go live, Instagram is a younger crowd, what I'm saying? Like versus Facebook. And when I go live over there, and like I got a younger audience, etc. And they're so fascinated because they haven't run into like the topics that we've gone over today.
Right.
Oh my gosh, when I talk about the nature of science, right, and how I blended it with Journey of the Shadows. So like they'll see the artwork, they'll see some blurbs about the story or what have you, but they haven't been introduced formally to the science.
Right.
So I look at that parallel. Yes, you blended the two and you introduce them to a world that they're like, this exists. I'm like, yeah. So goth girls exist. I'm happy. Just gonna say, what's that, my man?
I was just gonna say, I started hanging out in alternative music clubs in like 94, 95.
Yeah.
And there,
we got Courtney in the house.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were, goth. So
yeah. In the alt scene, a lot of them were goth.
They'd go be an accountant during the day and then, go goth it up, at night. So
at night, heck yeah. You listen to Bauhaus.
Yeah.
You got Depeche Mode on or
Blasphemous Rumors or whatever.
Man, or whatever. It was all there. It was
my roommate in college used to blast it out the windows up at Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in like 85, he would blast it out the windows and people would be like, what the heck? Because people were into general pop music, in college back then. If you ever see these movies, these 80s movies, the reason they don't make a lot of them anymore is because that's how it was for the most part. You can't really recreate it. It was just like they went and just shot a movie at a college. It wasn't like they made it up like they would have to today.
Right. So, that's what it was.
But he was
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a great example.
Yeah. He was the alternative guy that introduced me to a lot of different bands that weren't popular yet. And then I think by 89, Depeche Mode did a signing at Tower Records in LA, and the entire street flooded. Like they shut down LA.
Wow.
And it was like, well, these bands are happening now,
Right.
And he started me listening to them, The Cure,
The
Cure. First, Depeche Mode, Susie Sue, and the Banshees. They hadn't broken yet, but then they started breaking, and it was like, wow, this is really cool.
It was a wave.
And then,
I can imagine.
Then grunge came in with Nirvana, and that just
blew
everything wide open.
Oh, it's so good, man.
It was a good time.
Man, I imagine just being there was great.
Yeah,
Courtney, we spoke. As soon as we talked about goth girls,
hey, Courtney
showed up. We spoke about Wendy. She showed up.
Yeah.
We spoke about Steph, and then he showed up.
Yeah. Hey, Courtney, I hope you're doing better. Anything you need, just let us know.
Let us know.
We got to keep you 100%.
Absolutely. She's not only amazing, but she's an amazing, just creative.
Yeah.
And after that, you saw the pictures from that wreck. I'm like, oh my God.
That upset me a lot. It really did. I don't even know what to say to you, Courtney. I'm just glad you're getting better.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're here, that you're saying, hey, God, thank you. We're grateful beyond our lucky stars that you're here. And I will say this, that it would be fan-freaking-tastic, to see these characters done by Courtney, because her artwork is exquisite. I'm just saying. I'm like, I'm not passing you or shooting you a pass, Steph, or nothing. I'm just saying.
Not for nothing. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
You're quite brilliant in many ways, Courtney. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Agreed. Thank you. Louis says he had to leave. Yeah, because Steph's got a show at
this thing. I'm actually supposed to do Pop XP pretty soon.
Oh, are you? Okay. So I'll tell you what, my friend.
I'll talk. We can talk longer, but I'll be getting ready for that pretty soon.
Okay. Well, my friend, I'll tell you this.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday. Yeah, it's and I forgot again.
I can't believe it's your birthday and you're talking to me. I'm honored. Thanks, man.
I mean, but no, not thank you, my friend. And once again, I'll send a formal apology to the Facebook, Instagram, because I went live earlier for the guys on Instagram, and I was talking about, like I said earlier, how I wanted to go storm chasing. I said, but they said, well, what was the occasion? I was like, oh yeah, because it's my birthday. And they're just like, what? You didn't tell? I'm like, yeah, I didn't post about it on Instagram. I didn't post about it on Twitter. I didn't post.
Yeah.
It was
it's
just
hard to remember, we used to just go do things. Now you have to remember to tell everybody all the time.
Right. It's a different ideology.
Yeah, I deliver books at a store, and I literally finish, the books are up. They're in, the comic store owner's happy, and I walk out, and I literally go, I got to take a picture of my books like in the store because it has to go up on Instagram. So I literally walk back in and do the whole thing.
Now you gotta, that's so you gotta have that ingrained, right? That sort of process. Yeah. So it was a spur of the moment, like I said about that Facebook picture, because I said, look, wearing the same shirt, right? Because I said, okay, we gotta get ready to talk to Al. But I was like, oh wait, okay, well let's get the social media light and let's just take a picture. So that when you see the picture, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. That's literally what happened. I was like, I don't know what to post. So I was like, I'm just taking a picture for social. Yeah. But everyone's been sending me a lot of great well wishes. It's been really humbling. And I'll tell you this, man, it's been a humbling experience, getting up into this point, in my life, in my career, that is, and saying that, hey, we took the initiative. I'll say this, I've been incredibly grateful that I did take the initiative upon myself to say, let's give. Everyone says, do what's best for yourself, right? And I said, well, you know what? Journey of the Shadow may, it's not gonna. I'm not looking at it as some sort of 6-figure thing or whatever. That's not why we hop into this thing. I said, but it may be the most enriching endeavor that I've ever undertook. I said, because of all the people that I'll meet. And the function of that was reflected, when I post a picture. I didn't expect, anybody to see it because Facebook neutering, your content.
Yeah, they made it no fun anymore. But
right. No fun Facebook, hashtag. But that it proved me wrong. So, but that tells me the impact, and that's and I was going to mention that earlier. The impact that you don't know that you leave on people with what you do, right, or with who you are as a person. Just having an event like your birthday show up and you see all this impact shown back at you, you're just like, wow, you're genuinely surprised, because it's like you said, when you put the books up in that store, you're just telling the store like, hey man, all right, good to see you, I'll see you next time. You're just like,
trying to get out all cool, and I had to go back in.
Right, you gotta go back and be like, hey, I'm back. But then it surprises you. But it's because you're trying to keep yourself humble. You're trying to keep yourself humble because you're a constant learner, right? Everything that you're doing, you're learning. I don't care what I don't have to preach that to you, my friend. But when you see the response from other people, then you see a reflection of the impact that you have on other human beings. And so I said, if there's anything else that I can do for the rest of my life, I said this would be amazing. Just to have this sort of positive impact, particularly with all of the stuff like we're not going to mention here, but there's enough stuff out there to drag people down for generations. You know what I mean? We can write history books based off of the whole year of 2020 alone, folks.
Yeah, it seems like a whole decade actually.
Man, what you talking about? Because like the decade of 2020. But I said, but given this environment filled with vitriol, I was like, man, what an honor it is to have this positive effect on other people. So I said, man, you know what? I said, maybe next year when we do the birthday thing, let's do something special. Maybe we'll do like a guitar thing. You know what I mean? Because people, they want to see, they're interested in who you are as a person. There it is. Courtney, if you're here,
I was gonna say we can go out playing a little guitar for Courtney.
Yeah, let's. I agree. What did I do with my my stuff? Okay, hold on. You go ahead and get it started, Courtney. If you're still here, sweetheart. We're gonna do some.
My patch cord's working, and I'm getting feedback.
I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut my mic off for feedback. Uh-oh. Okay, let me cut my mic off for feedback.
You want to go?
Yeah, you're sounding good on my end.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Let's see here. We try to get the. See, I just got it tuned.
Oh yeah, I saw you.
Now let's see here. Let's get the DAW up and unmute this bad boy. All right, hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna try to play this one from a sugar's called Combustion.
Okay.
A little bit. Okay. If I remember it. So if I screw up, you're gonna have to forgive me. That's so hard to play.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's tough. A lot of fingering.
I was hoping you could see like some of the stuff you have to do on the fretboard.
Yeah.
Combustion is like that's the first song off of their album Obscene.
Nice.
Where it has I'm not sure if you've heard that song Bleed by them before, but if you just have an opportunity, Alton, just to listen to the song, it's tough. I'll see if I can do it, but boy, that takes some. I'm at, yeah, that's, no.
Yeah.
there's a lot of endurance picking. Like
Yeah.
Frederick Thorndahl said, it's a lesson in endurance. Just like
Yep.
we said with the PhD,
Yep.
it's not going to happen on, like, I'm like, no, you got to get warm for that.
Yeah.
Those boys from Sweden, they killed it. But heck yeah, man, if you want to do some more,
yeah, we'll get together.
stuff, heck yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
down.
play.
I'm down
Cool.
for it. Let me put this
Very
back
cool.
up.
All right. Tell everybody where they can get your book. Tell them about your Kickstarter. Give them your last pitch.
Oh yeah, guys. Thank you so very kindly, as first and foremost, for your support. You can get my book, Volume 1, at journeyoftheshadow.com /store. You can find everything Journey of the Shadow at journeyoftheshadow.com. The Kickstarter, the links are there. You can see all the tiers. I think we've got about 48 hours left on the campaign. You get signed copies of Darkness Falls. And the second book, Darkness Falls, again, my friends, it's on the heels of Volume 1. The Sanzai clan, they run into a new evil, Yoro, a disciple of torment. Bodies are piling up, and the knives of doubt are carving into Commander Sumisu. If he cannot draw strength from these phenomenal extraterrestrial women, then my friends, darkness will fall upon the universe. That is cool. Darkness Falls. Thank you, guys. You can find me on Facebook, Journey of the Shadow, Instagram, Journey of the Shadow.
Go get it, everybody. I appreciate your time, Stone. Anytime you want to talk, man, just let me know.
Oh man, look, dude, it was so dope. It's like we should have been talking before, but that's okay.
Yeah. It just seemed natural to me, so I just was like, let's just do it.
Let's do it, man. Let's rock and roll. I love it.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you, everybody. Go there. I got Vampires in New Jersey #8. Stone's got his joint out there. Go get some cool stuff and enjoy it. And we'll talk to you soon.
And practice on guitar.
There you go.
Later, guys. Oh.